by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
The White House has given the FBI permission to expand its probe into sexual misconduct allegations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. I'm Laura Podesta. I'll tell you what President Trump says he wants in a comprehensive investigation.
And Butte police shoot a man after a confrontation at a home. Coming up, how it happened and what the sheriff is saying about that incident.
Good morning to you. Welcome to your Tuesday at 6:30. And our top story for you right now at this hour. After swift political blowback, the White House ordered the FBI to expand their investigation into Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh.
But the FBI needs to have the review done by Friday, the same day Republicans plan to hold a confirmation vote. CBS's Laura Podesta is in New York with the latest.
By the way, if we took 10 years, then what more time?
At a rally in Tennessee last night, President Trump blasted Democrats for trying to thwart the confirmation of his Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh.
They've been trying to destroy him since the very first second he was announced.
Earlier at the White House, the president said the FBI can interview anyone it wants to as investigators look into sexual misconduct claims against Kavanaugh.
I think the FBI should do what they have to do to get to the answer.
Kavanaugh denies all the allegations.
A real investigation, it follows the facts.
Democrats sent the White House a list of 24 people they say should be interviewed. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin says Republicans are trying to push Kavanaugh through.
The timetable was 7 days, and I know that Senator McConnell's in a hurry, in a big hurry. He wants to get this done right away.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell scheduled a confirmation vote for Friday, the same day the FBI is expected to turn in the results of the investigation.
If you listen carefully, Mr. President, you can practically hear the sounds of the Democrats moving the goalposts.
Republican Jeff Flake is one of only a few senators still undecided.
There's a lot of doubt still. That's why it was important to have the FBI do more investigating and have more information, not less.
Because the FBI is not conducting a criminal investigation, none of the witnesses are being forced to cooperate. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
Now, CBS News has confirmed that the FBI has already interviewed 3 of the people Christine Blasey Ford says were at the high school party when Kavanaugh allegedly attacked her. His friends, Mark Judge and Patrick P.J. Smith, and a woman named Leland Kaiser. The FBI interviewed Deborah Ramirez over the weekend. She claims Kavanaugh exposed himself to her at a dorm party at Yale.
Something tells me we'll be talking about this all week.
I think that's probably true.
And they'll be following up on CBS This Morning as well.
Yep.
Matt joins us now. A little bit warmer than it was yesterday morning at this time. Wow.
Yeah, difference a day makes is quite remarkable, right? This morning, temperatures into the 40s, 50s across the area. We have 60s showing up in Innis. I think that might be a little off, but still mild temperatures to say the least. We do see some showers showing up on radar. If we're seeing anything actually falling from the sky, a lot of that not hitting the ground. Temperatures back into the 60s for the afternoon today, but we are starting to take steps toward a cooler week ahead. We'll talk more about that, of course, in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Matt. It's now 6:33 in Butte. A 38-year-old man remains hospitalized after being shot by police on Monday morning. Officers say the man pointed a gun at them. And MTN's John Amy tells us how a routine 911 call turned into a gunfire in a quiet uptown neighborhood.
Police arrived at this residence on Maryland Avenue about 3:25 in the morning in response to a call about a man intentionally trying to overdose on prescription drugs. Police spent several minutes trying to get the man to come to the door, and when he finally did, the situation turned ugly.
A 38-year-old male came to the door with a .22 caliber rifle. The officers saw him coming from inside the house. They backed away, stepped off a porch they'd been on and down into a yard.
Police claim the man ignored orders to put the rifle down, and when he turned the barrel toward the officers, both opened fire.
Victim was struck in the right forearm with a handgun round. He then went back inside the residence. Additional officers responded. They obtained a ballistic shield and they entered the house and found him injured, and were able to take him into custody at that point without any further incident.
One neighbor who lives close by said he was startled by the gunshots, but had no idea what was going on.
At first I thought, wow, could that be gunshots? And I went and looked outside. I didn't see anything going on. And then I was thinking to myself that it was the shots were so fast that I thought it couldn't really be a gunshot. It must be fireworks.
The 2 officers involved in the shooting have been put on paid administrative leave while the Montana Highway Patrol and the Department of Justice investigates the shooting. In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
Although the investigation is continuing, the sheriff says that he believes the officers involved were justified in their use of force in the situation. Police have not identified the shooting victim.
Elsewhere, the price of homes in Gallatin County has jumped. Gallatin Association of Realtors says there was an 18% increase in single-family home prices in August. That increase comes as data from this past August is compared to the same time last year. Additionally, the group says the amount of available homes has decreased, meaning that means the market is tighter.
This is really a nationwide issue. It's not just Bozeman. There's some tight markets all across the nation, and there is an increase in home prices across the nation as well.
Now again, GAR did say more condo and townhome listings are available, which is good news for those looking for a first home, since that's where many first-time home buyers aim. Plus, prices for those homes did not rise as much.
And Montana State University students made a special presentation to the Bozeman City Commissioners last night. MTN's Badaris Bab reports on the project and those students what they created and what it could mean for Bozeman.
8 MSU architecture and design students stood right here at City Hall to give presentations on blueprints for accessory dwelling units.
This is really a special presentation because it's highlighting not only the partnership between the city and the School of Architecture, but it's really become a community project. So we're excited to show you the progress that we've made thus far.
ADUs can be no more than 600 square feet in size and often are tiny homes or garage apartments. Student Jimmy Brown says his group incorporated 2 solar panels into their project.
And that right there just ups the value of the property or of the house.
All of the ADUs presented to the commission met city code. Deputy Mayor Chris Mell applauded the students for their work.
It's working now, that these owners, with the help of students, would be able to do it. I do hope in December you come to us with some suggestions in addition to your specifics about areas to improve as well, but also an acknowledgement that you guys are off and running and you're going to be pretty busy for the next 6 weeks.
City employees provided the funding, their advice, and their time, but in the end, it was the students who came up with the blueprints. In Bozeman, Madaris Bab, MTN News.
Now, these MSU students have been working with homeowners, city staff, and local contractors to develop their site plans. And it is Campus Commute Week at MSU. All of this week, faculty, students, and staff are encouraged to take a look at an alternative commute option, like taking the Streamline bus or carpooling. Now, yesterday, a forum was held about women biking. Female bikers shared their tips and experiences with others.
It seems easy, but there are lifestyle changes that you need to do in order to become a bicycle commuter. Sometimes that means waking up a little earlier, wearing warmer clothes, having the right bicycle is really important. And even most important is knowing the rules of the road and how to stay safe.
Now, for the full list of commuter events at MSU this week, head on over to our websites.
Well, about 200 students gathered yesterday to make blankets for kids in crisis. It's part of a project called Blankets for Leo. Now, Leo stands for Law Enforcement Officers. It was started by Carrie Hansen, Morgan Carr, when the two were in 6th grade. Blankets are carried in officers' vehicles and given to kids that meet when responding to calls. Up until this point, the students made a few dozen blankets, but they recently received a grant for $1,000, plus a big discount at Joann's Fabrics. Now, more than 100 blankets are being made.
The Sheriff's Office, we really appreciate what they do, but even more, I wish they could see how much they're actually helping the community, specifically kids. So it's just great to see young kids involved and helping out like that.
By the way, those blankets are going to be used by the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office as they patrol about.
That's a very cool project.
It's super helpful for those young people. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Something traumatic has gone on and you need a little bit of comfort. I think it's
no question.
A brilliant thing. And switching gears from powwows to other special occasions, a Billings woman takes pride in spotlighting her handmade regalia when she's out and about.
In this week's Montana Made, MTN's Victoria Hill shows us how much time and detail goes into creative Native American jewelry and dresses.
Sarah Widener sits at the kitchen table in her Billings home, creating the items her grandma, mother, and cousins taught her over the years. From beaded earrings to medallions, jingle dresses, and ribbon skirts, Sarah's creations reflect the beauty of Montana's Native American tribes.
So earrings, you're probably looking about 3 hours. With a ribbon skirt, on a small skirt, it probably takes me about 6-7 hours to complete. And I'm going in and I'm like sewing every single ribbon down so that it doesn't, come off. Paying attention to detail and making sure my measurements are correct.
Stitch by stitch, she puts passion behind each project, giving customers a value that can't be found in your typical store.
The medallion took me about, with my sister included, probably took us over 100 hours to complete. So, we put a lot of time into making this stuff, and we'd like to get that back and, our valuable time.
Although time-consuming, she finds therapy in every piece.
I'm just really honored when I see, young girls or young women wearing my stuff, because that's something that they really enjoy wearing and they love it. They feel beautiful in it. And I'm just really happy that I'm able to contribute to that.
In Billings, Victoria Hill, MTN News.
Now, if you'd like to see more of her work or to make an order, visit Native American Beadwork by Sarah. You'll find that on Facebook. We're going to take a quick break here. Here's what's coming up on Montana This Morning.
President Trump's escalating trade war with China is bad for business for many American farmers. I'm Mola Lengi in rural Missouri, where, despite the president's tariffs, many of these farmers continue to support the president.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS This Morning, the FBI is looking into charges about Brett Kavanaugh, and a former top FBI official describes a, quote, war room atmosphere. We'll tell you what the expanded scope of the probe is targeting. And Tom Petty's daughter honors the iconic singer a year after his death. We'll talk to Adria Petty about the 60-song tribute featuring unheard recordings and live performances. We'll see you with all that at 7.